I'm Peter Pan. I'm just a big kid.
Do you like to stroke your boyfriends?
Stroke.
You know, like those little tickle strokes in bed?
I'm a very affectionate person.
Hey guys, today we're going across the pond because we're talking Love is Blind UK. The
right.
pods are open.
Pods are open. That's right.
This is the
Episodes
first-
1 through 4.
This is the first one we've watched that's not been American.
Yeah, no kidding,
So-
man.
Yeah, Mexico dropped and now UK dropped as well. So they're running these two
Quick
kind of simultaneously.
Quick shout out to the Mexico one. I watched the first episode, and I mean that's a whole different vibe they've got going on.
Yeah.
down there.
Well, it's kind of like weird with the dubbing because
Yeah,
like,
I'm
they're
not
not
big on it.
actually
Yeah.
sounding like that.
Yeah.
So something's a little
And
bit
some
lost.
of the words probably aren't right and everything. Yeah,
Their
exactly.
tone and everything, so we couldn't really get into that one, but
they
it
got
was
some-
entertaining.
They got some interesting people
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah, no doubt.
yeah.
But so does this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this cast. Who we liking?
I'm really, I mean, Steven, I'm really liking Steven and Sabrina, so I'm going to call him, man, Sabrina.
Sabrina.
I think they're a good couple. I think Steve is a genuine, just good-hearted dude. Sabrina's a sweet girl. You know, I like Freddie. What a great kid, man. The kid's freaking 32 and he looks like he's 23, man. That dude, like, I don't know what, man, dude just got some damn good genes in his family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
He is
He's
a
a ni-
specimen.
Oh, yeah, he's
He's like,
yeah.
I don't know, Captain America. Like he's got the super soldier serum. or
Okay, but
something.
remember, she doesn't see the specimen.
Yeah, no,
she
no,
only
yeah.
hears it. And I gotta say, he's great on
He-
that
he's-
aspect too.
he's Freddie.
He's very emotionally available. He says all the right things,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and he seems genuine. So I really like Freddie.
Yeah, he's a
for
good kid, no doubt about
all
it.
the reasons.
Freddie, Steven, what about the ladies' side?
Lady side, I mean, Catherine's cool. I like her. I didn't like her at first. She seemed,
Yeah, I
she
don't
seemed
really
kind
care
of
for
full
her.
of herself at first. But then as it progressed, I was like, okay, I'm getting into her. You know,
I'm
she's
not
right.
feeling her because
So-
she only becomes like different when she links
Right.
up with Golden Boy Freddie.
Yeah, well, I mean,
No, she was a little different.
I think
before that.
Nicole's cool. She's definitely there for the right reason. I think she just got kind of like a shit deal with who she started talking to, and I guess it's kind of her own fault.
Yeah, that's her own fault.
Yeah,
And
but
she was warned by multiple people.
oh yeah, she was, no doubt. And then who else, man? There's a girl there that I like that we really didn't see much.
Jasmine,
Elle, I like
got-
Elle, but you really didn't see too much of her.
I
But-
kind of like Jasmine, but
I do
Yeah,
too.
I just
yeah, Jasmine's cool.
the only vibe I get from her is I don't know if she can be like fun and turn off like that professional kind of vibe.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
puts
she does
out.
seem, yeah.
Oh, I think she
And
can.
Maria seems cool. Maria seems fun.
I like
She's got a
Maria.
Cool, Maria's got a cool, fun vibe
Yeah.
to her, you know. And Tom, that dude's pretty damn funny, man. Some of the stuff. So I think they were a good match. I like those two together.
Yeah.
But Tom his voice reminds me of Simon Cowell. Like, when I start hearing that dude talk, man, I start picturing Simon Cowell when I hear that dude talk.
Well, I can tell you who I don't like.
Yeah, who do you not like?
Probably the same person that
Sam.
nobody else likes, which is Sam.
Hey,
See-
remember he's from London.
Yeah.
Sam from London.
That's right. Sam. now here's the
Sam
thing.
from London.
Here's the thing about Sam. All right. And I'm sure everybody thinks. I mean, he comes off very douchey, but honestly, I think it's more insecurity. And he's the dude's so insecure that he overcompensates with freaking arrogance, and it just makes him stupid.
I've
He's
never
on both
seen-
ends
Yeah.
of the spectrum.
Yeah.
It just makes him stupid.
I've
You know
never
what I mean?
seen someone so arrogant be so insecure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think the arrogance is
selfish.
just the arrogance is totally overcompensating for the insecurity, but it just makes itself like an idiot. You know, it's just it's cringy to watch, man. Like I'm just watching that dude, I'm like, oh man, you're just horrible.
it's tough. And I like that. Was it Jasmine that kind of picked up on that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad that Nicole didn't. But yeah, she's like, he's saying all the things, but I just don't hear him meaning it. Like, it's like he's reciting it. And then what I don't like is that anytime he speaks in anything, it's always about him.
Mm-hmm.
In like some kind of way about them, but like making it about him.
Yeah.
What about Benihana?
I love him.
Ben and I is cool. He's a freaking he's like a flower child guy, man. Just hippie dude. He's awesome. I like Ben and I, man.
He was a slow burn though, and that was the problem.
Yeah, he's a very laid back guy. You know,
He couldn't assure like Nicole that they were gonna.
He couldn't, right? And that was where he screwed up, right?
Yeah.
Had he given her those assurances, you know, she would have went with him. I think she would have.
Yeah.
But the fact that he wasn't, you know, and it's like, and he kept talking about how much he likes her, and then you know he even had to go and he didn't throw Sam under the bus, right? He did it for the right reasons when he was telling her about Sam.
Yeah.
But you know he went and did that, but he wasn't giving her the assurances she needed, even though I mean he's telling her that stuff. But like at the same time, he's not like, look, I love you. I'm ready to get down. Let's do this. You know, so I get why she went with Sam, but at the same time, it was definitely wrong.
He was in a
choice.
tough spot with that because it's always tough to try to throw your competition under the bus because
not always tough. Some people we've seen do it.
I mean, but it puts you in a sticky situation because then it's like, you know, are you just trying to win? Or are you just trying to like, you know, what are you doing? But the fact that he did that, and then she also had. Now the thing with the way Jasmine presented it too is she's like, but that was just how I felt. Like she was, and I kind of like that too. That she also wasn't throwing him under the bus. She's just saying like, look, I didn't really pick up on genuine vibes from him.
I'll give you an opinion, bearing in mind like Sam was one of my top.
Okay.
Ben will make you feel more emotionally fulfilled.
And then Benaya saying the same thing. Like she probably should have put those two together.
And what Benaya should have told her too, and maybe he did, it just didn't show us. Because Benaya talked to a couple of the guys, and they were all like, Steven was like, yeah, you need to tell her, bro. So he should have told her too, look, it ain't just me. I've talked to a couple guys. I didn't really want to bring this up, but even the guys are telling me, yeah, you should probably bring this up to her. You should have did that kind of.
But Nicole could have said like, hey, did you happen to talk to Sam? What'd he tell you? Hey, did you happen to talk to Sam? What'd he tell you? She could have sussed that out. Yeah. And people were telling her.
Well, Jasmine
and
did.
she went with her gut over her heart.
Because Jasmine told her, like, he's telling me the exact same shit he told you. Because she told Jasmine, oh, he was telling me this. And Jasmine was like, yeah, he said the same thing to me.
Listen, I don't want to go.
Do you know what it is? From day one, Sam told me, like, I think you're it.
Sam's been telling me the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
When it comes to picking a partner, I think going with your gut or your heart will always steer you the wrong way. You got to go with your brain on this one.
Yeah, well, in this kind of situation, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we think of Ollie?
Ollie's cool, man. I like Ollie. Ollie's a good dude. You know, at first, it almost seemed like maybe he wasn't there for the right reason because he did talk about, look, you know, physicality does have some stuff with him. Of course, it does for everybody. But, you know, the more I saw of Ollie, the more I was like, man, he's a good dude, man. So I really liked Ollie. I loved the connection that he and freaking, what's her name had? The girl he chose, Demi, had, right? They had a great connection. You know, it was a great vibe and everything. And I was like, I was curious to see how it was going to work out when they saw each other, and I was pleasantly surprised. Like, all right, man, I'm glad he's giving her a chance because, you know, she's a sweetheart. She's got a great heart, and, you know, I'm hoping they work out. So, I mean, the previews for the next several episodes didn't look so great.
We're not going to talk about the previews because, you know, we get
always
screwed by those every time.
Exactly. But I hope they work out.
But let's talk about how that went down, like, you know, because Catherine was, like, vying for Ollie, and so was Demi.
See, now, hear it now, but Ollie called it well on Catherine, man. He was like, look, with Catherine, I just get these lusty vibes, right? Like, you know, the conversation we have, I think it's more lust. Whereas with Demi, I think it's more, you know, so Catherine's like more on a surface lusty level. Where Demi, he's like, it's on a deeper level, deeper conversations. So I like that he was able to pick up on that and really notice that for himself and not go with the lusty, right? He's like, look, man, yeah, lusty's great, but that's not what I'm here for. Yeah. So I was like, man, good for him.
Now, I will say, Demi seems like she has some mental health kind of like concerns. Oh, yeah. Like that's going to be a handful for Ollie because he's going to constantly have to reassure her. Yeah. And that's probably going to be an ongoing thing.
I'm being a bit snappy. How would you handle that? Like,
I'd probably just go and stay with one of my friends for the weekend.
He's just going to leave the whole weekend.
Demi's definitely got her own insecurities like Sam, but she's just not crazy like Sam is, right? At least Demi's, you know, Demi's a sweetheart, you know, but she's definitely got some insecurities and yeah, Ollie will definitely have to placate, you know, that and make sure that he's keeping her comfortable. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work for him, but you know, if he's willing to do it, I think it'll be, you know, I think it'll work out fine.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a rough road, but it's possible. And I like Ollie. He seems like he's a good dude. He can fit in anywhere, and he's got a good voice. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So
well, and I like that when she told him, she got really vulnerable with him about possibly not being able to have kids and having fertility issues, and he was like, "We'll deal with that. Like, I'm happy with you." You know, that's a later issue, and it doesn't bother me in any way.
Now, I wonder if they're taking like scenes and putting them in a different order because he says that right up front, and then that comes into play kind of later on. Maybe. Like, is that part of the same conversation?
Can we just not enjoy their connections the way they are?
I mean, we saw a similar conversation with Steven and Sabrina, right? Because they were hitting off big time and everything, but then he was like, "Look, I want my own kids," you know, and she was like, "Well, I don't necessarily need that in my life," and he was like, "Oh."
If I didn't have children, I think I'd be okay. What about you?
Yeah.
That was the big showstopper, kind of.
Yeah.
But at one point.
But then she was like, "Look, I'm not opposed to it necessarily, and we could adopt or whatever." She's like, "I just don't need it," and he was like, "All right, I can live with that, right?" So then,
she's just and that was something realistic. Again, a lot of these people don't tend to have like these realistic plans of their future when they meet in here and they get kind of caught up in it. And she's like, look, I'm 36. You know, I don't want to just pop out a kid as soon as I meet somebody. I want to be in our marriage for a little while
the
first.
clock's ticking if she's 36.
Yeah, and so she's like, realistically, I don't know that I can produce kids when I'm ready to have kids, but I'll have a kid. I just may not be able to produce it.
And I like they had these conversations because they hit it off so well with like the connection to their relatives and passing away. So they're really strong. And then it kind of ended that conversation with the kid thing that brought it down a little bit.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad they were able to rebound from that. And then she was able to explain the age situation.
Yeah.
And then like, look, I'm willing to try to have kids, and I'm willing to adopt. And he's like, okay, cool. He's like, I get that. He's like, I'm cool with that. And then after that, they were back on the right track and everything was, working out well.
And it makes you wonder, like, even when the younger people, like, because we don't see all of them talk about kids and family and stuff like that. Like, that's one of the things that causes a big problem in marriage is fertility issues. So, like, they could both go in there and like, I want a whole bunch of kids. Like, do couples talk about, well, what if we can't? What if we try? What if we can't? Because that can break a marriage. So,
that's true.
Like, the stress of that is like, do we have a plan of being okay if we don't?
With adopting or whatever.
Or do we want to go adoption or surrogacy or something like that? And do they all talk about it?
I bet they all talk about it, but they're not going to show like all 5 couples talking about the same topic probably.
6.
So, okay, 6.
I was amazed. There were 6.
I know, I didn't even know. But yeah, I'm rooting for those two. And he's 37, so they're both like right there at that age. And he definitely wants the kids, and you could tell that's very important to him. And I like how they worked that out.
Yeah.
And he's a freaking, you can tell he's a genuine dude, really nice guy. She seems like a great girl, so I'm really hoping that everything works out with him.
And again, if you trust how it's filmed, this was the first couple to link up at the end of the first episode going into the second episode. So they were hot from the get-go.
Although I did catch Nicole in the first episode, I think it was around 23:30. If you're watching her one-on-one with a camera, she's already wearing an engagement ring. So I don't know if that was filmed after she had already said yes to somebody and gotten all that or what, but it was very weird.
They're obviously filmed like post, but that was a production flaw.
Yeah, it was definitely a production flaw. Yeah, it was definitely.
There's a reason why you can't see the stuff in their cups and everything.
Right.
Yeah. So first couple to link up, and everything is amazing for them too.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful to kind of see this because I mean this is like how you want it to be, and this is like that magic. It's off to that magic fairy tale story, Well,
and I think the cool thing is too, as we're watching more Netflix, American shows or the mixed American Brit ones, all that. There's been so many of them that you could tell a lot of people are here just to get famous now, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this is the first cast in the UK, and it seems like they're all there for the right reason, from what we see so far.
Not all,
for the most part, most of them,
and he might be there when we talk. I'm talking about Sam.
I think Sam's just weird, dude. He's just like I said.
It might be just his arrogant insecurities of just like needing it, but like he's there for his own. I don't think he's there for fame, but I think he's there for reassurance that he's worthy of something.
Right.
I don't know.
I get the vibe that Sam is just wanting to go, and this is the experiment. And I think they do preach that to him. Hey, this is the experiment.
That's
you
true.
can get all kinds. You could grow from this. And I think that's how he's taken his mind. I don't know if he's looking at like, I'm here to find my one and only, because he goes from person to person, and that kind of tells me like he just is in this for this experiment.
Yeah, but then he says, "Look, I just want to be loved. I want you to love me. I want my one person."
Him.
Yeah, it's all about him.
And he even says who was the one that let him down?
Jasmine.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh man, that sucks." But then he's telling,
I got to fall back.
Yeah, and then he's telling, is it Lindsay that he chooses? What's her name?
He goes with Nicole.
Nicole. I can't think of anybody's name. Nicole. Anyway, so he chooses Nicole, but like as soon as he gets let down, he's like bummed about it. He's like, that hurt, whatever. He's like, but I got one more. I feel like
he's like, I'm about to be eliminated, guys. I gotta get with somebody.
It's like, and then he's like, I'm not gonna let this one go. Like, and I'm like, are you trying to win? Like, I don't.
And he is saying he says a lot of superficial shit in there with the guys and everything. The guys are all catching this, and they're like, dude, what is that?
And he keeps saying, trust me.
Which makes me not want to trust you.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't think he trusts himself.
No.
And then, the other thing that was like a red flag, and I think this was the first red flag for her that she actually felt from him, was after their engagement. And he says, and then they're all done and they're getting ready to leave. He says, I think I love you.
I think I love you.
Okay.
And that's the second time he said it.
No, he said it in the pod.
He said, I think I love you, but he said, I think both times.
Yeah, and then he said it at the meeting.
As I think,
But in the pod,
she didn't say anything to him, so which is worse?
I'm saying her,
but in the pod, she said, "I love you."
You're talking about the second time. I'm talking about the first time. They were still in the pod.
Right.
And she's still talking about how happy she is, but her face just kind of like...
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
I think I love you too. I can't believe it.
Oh, I know.
Like what?
Because she said, "I love you," and then he was like, "I think I love you," and then she was like, "What the hell kind of answer is that?"
Yeah, like you just asked me to marry you.
He does add strange caveats to when he talks. Like even when he's talking to the camera, he's like, "I don't care what anyone says about her looks. Like I think she's beautiful." I'm like, who's saying anything
about her looks? Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like why would she's beautiful? Like why would anyone say anything bad about her looks? Like why would you say that aspect?
Yeah,
and maybe, and I don't know. Like bad people have no problem lying. He's not just doing that. So maybe he's just not good with words.
He's just a weird dude.
It doesn't sound great when you say that kind of stuff.
No, not at all. No, makes you look like an asshole.
At their meeting, he's like, "Don't worry, like the height difference." He's like, "You can wear heels or whatever." I'm like, "So she's just gonna wear heels every day now because you're."
There is a pretty significant height.
Oh,
like, I don't know if he's really tall or she's really short. I'm not really sure.
That was a huge height difference.
Yeah,
but then it's funny, and then he put the wedding ring on the wrong finger. She did.
Yeah,
and so just like.
And she says that's like an issue or a red flag, but I'm just like, I just find it weird because she's all in. They meet, and now all of a sudden she's like, "Whoa."
Now here's what I think. Like when her and Benaya were talking, and about just kind of like their free flowing, just kind of laid back life, and how Benaya's kind of just basically a nomad. I just travel around doing whatever. She's like, yeah, she's like, I totally picture you like long hair, dreads, this and that. So I think that's more the type of look she's going for, not the kind of freaking like preppy kind of look that he has. So.
I honestly don't think it was his look. I think one had to do with now again, this could be filmed, but it seems like she accepted the engagement before she broke up with Benaya.
Well, because it showed
That's
her
how
go out of the room. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the conversation with Benaya after, she started to second guess herself in that moment. And then when she met him, when you actually have those doubts that other people had kind of placed in your mind about his genuine, you know what I'm saying? You guys can figure it out. And now he's in person. She's and the things he's saying when they're meeting, I think she's starting to kind of maybe pull it together and doubt.
About time.
I don't think she thinks he's not good looking.
And that's a weird time to pull it together, like right before you're getting ready to go on your semi-honeymoon thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man.
So I'm kind of like, I don't know who, like, I'm with her 100%, but the way she ends it, I'm like, I don't like that really either.
Yeah, the whole situation was just weird, man. It was just.
I can't wait to see more from that.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
The fallout from all that.
It's just going to be like a couple seasons ago where... Zach and
exactly what's going to happen. Because we saw she's about to meet with Benaya, right? So, so it's basically...
I hope so, because Zach and Bliss they're married.
Oh, they got a kid now.
Yeah, I still think those two are risky, too, because he's such a nomad. She's like, I kind of live a corporate life. Right. I'm like, well, those two things don't mix.
Yeah, exactly. That was a weird thing. It was like, did they talk about that? It's like, is he going to settle down with her? And...
he did make a joke. He's like, "Well, I'll leave you. You're going to stay behind or whatever." So.
And he's like, "I'm just kidding," but it's like, "Are you?" Because
in the back of his mind, no, not.
That's been your whole life, So yeah, that's definitely a weird thing too. Yeah, man. And because he said he's a landscaper, right? So like,
but that works because she does yoga naked, so like he'll make it look nice and pretty for her.
That's right.
She's a nice backdrop.
He's a structural
landscaper. But landscaping you can do anyway.
All these people have weird jobs in the UK for weird. They got like different names for them.
But yeah, I don't know, man. But we'll see if that works out.
Yeah.
In the UK, like it's funny too because they're talking about accents and like, oh, you got that accent? Are you from here? I'm like, y'all got accents, man. But
by their accent, they can tell exactly where they're from, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of like us,
And I guess it is kind of weird because like here, America is so big. Like, so they film seasons, in Dallas and Seattle and in certain locations like cities. So the moving thing isn't really a big deal. But UK, it's like you got some in Ireland, you got some in England and like.
Right. And they talked about that. Like Sabrina and Steven, they're like, he was like, all right, well, I'm here in England. I don't know if he was in London where he was at. And she's in Belfast.
Yeah.
He was like, are you going to expect me to move with you? And she's like, oh, no. She's like, I'll totally move with you. And he's like, okay, cool. So at least they talked about that.
They're all throughout the country, but the country is the size of one of our larger states at the same
time.
So,
I mean, you could probably get from Ireland to London faster than you can get from, city to city. That's like neighboring city in the United States.
They do say some weird stuff that I'm not fond, like Vicky's sponge cake or something. Like, what the hell is that? What are we talking about here? I need to look into this.
I don't know this stuff. I like how Freddie always uses the word proper.
It's not proper. It's not Freddie. It's Freddie.
Freddie.
And he's like he's proper fascinated with it. Proper love. Oh. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And then we were going to talk much about Bobby and Maria.
Proper.
Yeah. So what do you think about Bobby and Maria, or Bobby and Jasmine? How do you think that's going to work?
Yeah.
Bobby kind of reminds me of, like, looks wise, he kind of reminds me of Josh from season 5. When I saw him, I was he looks kind of like Josh, except he didn't have the cauliflower like Josh had, right? Because Josh is...
Yeah, I think he's better looking than Josh was, for sure.
I don't know if I'm feeling these two. I don't know why, but I'm just not feeling these two. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'm glad that she pivoted from Sam, but
yeah, definitely.
When they were getting their massages and they were talking about, like, who are you most excited to see? And he said something about kind of the drama, like the whole Sam thing or whatever. And they were talking about that.
Sam. She brought it up.
And, but they were talking about how they were both on the same page, feeling that Sam wasn't genuine. And I get, like, they're have a good friendship vibe from them. I'm just not sure.
Yeah,
which would be great if it works out for them because it's a foundation of like a friendship. But I think I definitely see at least friends coming from that. I don't know if it goes beyond that.
It seems like she stirs the pot a little bit, at least in the previews. Like she's not afraid to get in other people's business.
Awesome,
so I'm like,
well, and then Catherine and freaking Freddie, right? They're sitting there talking. And they're talking about the similar thing, and Kathy mentions Ollie, right? And Freddie kind of had an uncomfortable look too whenever that kind of little conversation.
Yeah, well, you can imagine that was going to brew, but I honestly think like that setup is good between both those couples.
Well, Catherine made sure she nailed that shit down. Like, we had sex twice.
Yeah.
Well, and Catherine. So there's something from the very beginning.
Gold with him.
Oh yeah.
Something from the very beginning with Catherine. Like I don't like her, and I don't know why. Like I can't put my finger on it. But I really don't like how she handled the Ollie situation. Like he went in there to break up with her. She's like, what? Nah. Let me just stop you right there. I'm gonna break up with you.
Well, I don't think she knew he was gonna break up with her, and I think part of it, and she did make it say, she said, look, I really like Demi. So she's like this. She's like, I love Demi. This is hard for me. She's like, but she's like, you know what? I just want to give her the opportunity. So I thought she, the way she was talking about it there, I was like, it's good, good for her.
After she ended it with Ollie, she would like anytime Demi came back and talked good about Ollie, she seemed like upset about it, like hurt, like okay.
She definitely had feelings for Ollie, and here's what I think it was. It was his birthday, and Demi was going all out for this dude, and she didn't do a thing. She's probably sitting there like, oh my God, this Demi chick is like making stuff, and I'm not going to do that.
That ain't me.
Like, she's like, I'm out. This is going to make me look bad, so I better pull the plug.
So maybe if it wasn't filmed over his birthday, like she would have given him more chance. I don't know. I feel like
that was cool of Demi, though, man. That was good.
How are you two vying for that and you don't do anything? Like, you're definitely out at that point, right?
I think there's something.
We saw Bliss do that, and she didn't get chose, though.
Yeah. There is something to me about Catherine that's off. I don't know what it is.
So like I said, I thought there was at first, but then she grew on me as the show progressed.
I think there is, and I don't think if Freddie was such a... He's a
beefcake.
Man. Yeah, he's a beefcake, and he probably has money. He's the entire total package. So there's nothing for her to have any doubts about. If there were doubts, I bet there'd be more problems.
Yeah, because we in the previews we see them talking about money. He's like, look, I got money. That can be an issue. So I'm assuming his, he's a funeral director. So I'm assuming it's a family business, right? It's probably his family owns a business, and so that's how a lot of those funeral companies work anyway. They're family run businesses. So that I don't know. We'll see if that comes in factor here.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Funeral director. What do you think about that?
It was just crazy when he said it, right? I was like, oh shit, But again, if he grew up with that, then it's not for him. It's normal.
You think he's really into Halloween or like against it at the point?
Yeah, he probably loves it, man.
Yeah, he probably like, you want me to get some bodies from the thing, and we do them. But yeah, Freddie, I'm impressed with Freddie. Like, I want to be with this dude.
I know, right?
I think all men and women like love Freddie. Like he comes across genuine. I always said all these seasons, I wish I would watch it without seeing them first. And I feel like the next American one, I need to remind myself to do that, to play the episodes, listen to them and not watch them. Because I wish I could have seen or heard Freddie talk and grow in this relationship without seeing him. Because obviously when you see him, you just fall in love with him. And we're watching him. And
he's more buff than Steven, who's the CrossFit guy.
Exactly.
So,
geez. Exactly.
But he's the total package in everything.
And he's got his brother. He's like, look, I might have to look out for him. He's going to be the best man. That's really cool that he's thinking about his brother.
And it's cool this thing about her. Like, look, if my parents die, I'm going to be taking care of my brother. So you need to be cool with that, right? So it's cool that he brought that up to her and explained to her, look, this is a lifelong situation here. My brother can never live on his own. Yeah. He's got to be taken care of by somebody, and that's going to fall on me when my parents pass away. So you got to be cool with that. Yeah. So yeah, it was good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust her. There's something about her. I don't know what it is.
Based on the previews, man, I mean, again, like we always said that, and everybody knows the previews will try to throw you off on purpose. There's gonna be some kind of stripe between them.
I mean, if I had a business like that, like, hey, this is my family's business. I got to protect this. Exactly. Like, just let you know, this is not personal, anything against you, but like, this is just how it's got to be.
What was her job?
I don't remember what Catherine did.
She's a dental nurse or something like nurse. Whatever. Does that mean dental hygienist?
Probably. Yeah, probably it's probably the same thing as dental hygienist.
Well, it's the UK. They have their healthcare system and how they do stuff is different than here. So who knows?
Now let's talk about Tom and Maria.
Yeah.
What do you think about those? Dude, those kind of like late bloomers.
Yeah, dude, Tom and Maria. Dude, Tom's great. I like Tom's, attitude. Mage is a funny dude, and even Maria mentions that. Maria is definitely like got a, just a good-hearted, just kind of, they just get along great, man. Their characteristics and everything just kind of match up. They're both just kind of funny, lighthearted people. They like to jab at each other a little bit and have the good banter. So I think they were a good match.
Now there's a decent age gap between them because Tom's 38, she's 30. So.
Yeah. Well, and she even mentioned that. She said, look, like if I'd met him out in a bar or something, found out he was 38, I'd be like, no. She's like, but getting to know him first, she's like, he doesn't act like a typical 38-year-old. I don't know what she expects a 38-year-old to act like. But she was like, so she's like, it's awesome. She's like, he's a great dude.
And she's a Muslim, so I don't know if any of that's going to ever become like an issue between the two of them or not.
I mean, if he's not overly religious, then it probably won't be an issue, right? But, who knows? And
how much did they really talk about that, though?
They didn't really talk much about it. So it didn't seem like it bothered him at all, right? So.
Yeah, and he's kind of torn between Natasha and her. So,
mm-hmm. We need to talk about Natasha.
Yeah,
Natasha was a sweetheart. I thought she was cool. I could see why he went with Maria. The way he did, and he was nice about it with Natasha. She said, look, he's like, you're a great person. I think you're awesome.
They have something neither one of them know what it is.
Right, yeah.
There's a connection of some sort.
But he was like, he did mention to her, look, I need to have kind of a sexual chemistry with you too, and with, somebody else. I'm getting that with us. I think he's like, with us, it's kind of more just friends. He's like, I kind of just get a friend vibe from you, right? So, and of course she was like, well, I don't think this is the end of our story, I think.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I thought it was funny that she said that because I was like, she's like, I'm hoping you're going to regret your decision.
He's like, I'm getting engaged. What are you talking about? But he friend zones her. And I thought at one point he was leaning more toward her, but.
Yeah, I thought he was for a little while too.
I guess that sexual chemistry he was feeling with Maria and overtook it. So.
Well, then when he saw her, he's like, "Oh, your boobs look great."
It's not the first thing he said.
I didn't say it was.
They were making out. She made him look like the Joker or something like that.
That was hilarious, man.
What I didn't understand about this is she's a makeup artist.
That's true. That's true.
That is her job.
Right.
You can't find lipstick that's not going to smear all over your man.
She did it intentionally.
It was like all over his teeth, everything, man. He's like, I don't care.
She, I think, had it on her neck or something at one point. So I'm like, what is going on with this lipstick?
Because he was kissing her neck after he had gotten all over his face, and I was like, oh man, that was great.
Yeah. So any other like,
and their sex is going to be mega. So.
Yeah, mega sex. Any other like meetings that stood out to you?
The only awkward one was
Sam and Nicole.
Sam and Nicole. Like they all seemed pretty genuine and like, sometimes it's like, do you kiss? Do you not kiss? And like, I don't know. Exactly. They're all kind of cringe to watch.
Bad sign if you don't kiss if you're getting ready to
Now,
engage.
Bobby and Jasmine, when they both came out, it was almost like he was trying to kiss, and I thought for a minute she was like dodging it and stuff.
Yeah.
And finally they did kiss, and I was like, so that one I thought was a little weird. Bobby and Jasmine, when they first met, that was a little weird, but they kind of got into it.
He gets on her knees, she gets down with him. So
I was wondering, are you gonna stand up, girl? Like, how long are you gonna squat like that? You're wearing heels? Like, get up! She was down there for a long time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I got that vibe too, but I think that was just some awkwardness.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think she's into him. I mean, at least she says that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, exactly. But I think all of them went pretty well. Most meetings did. So.
Yeah.
And they're going on their honeymoon to Greece.
Dude, what the? I mean, Americans get screwed.
Yeah.
They got to go to freaking Mexico, and then you're seeing this beautiful view in Greece where they're at, and I'm like, man, that's where I'd want to go.
I want to look up that place.
Yeah,
like,
it looks
I want
amazing.
that villa. I want to. I'm going.
Like each freaking room had its own little mini infinity pool outside of it and everything. I was like, damn, that's the place to go to.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, I said the American versions, they go to a hotel and they have a room and it's like, it sounds sweet. I think there was some that like had like the hot tub off of the side or whatever, but nothing like this.
Oh yeah, that was gorgeous, man. I was looking at places like, holy crap, they did it right for this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man.
You joked that you thought they were going to go to America for their honeymoon.
That's right.
What couples aren't going to last here?
I don't know, man. I don't know if. Again,
they show a lot of drama with Ollie, and I could see it because he's going to see Catherine, and she's pretty attractive. But I hope that doesn't cause any issues.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't either.
Catherine attractive.
But,
I mean, she's not ugly.
I think she's attractive, but.
I don't know. Again, there's something about her that throws me off.
But then they played it out like where she was like, well, then just go home. And I was like, fine, I'm going to go home. But then they showed another picture later where he's like hugging her and stuff. And I'm like, so who knows what's going to happen?
I think there's going to be a lot of drama there one way or another. But
yeah, definitely.
We'll see how strong they are.
Bobby and Jasmine, I'm still not sure about that one. Just kind of, they still don't seem super tight yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just what just a little bit of vacation we've seen so far. So I'm not sure if that one's going to work out,
I tell you one thing I found weird with Ollie when he was talking to the two girls is like he kept like reminding the girls that he has someone else. And I'm like, why do you keep bringing this up? Like, it would like kind of kill the conversation. He's like, well, I don't know what, I'll be honest with you. I'm like, I don't know if you're my one because I got this other girl, just to let you know. And I'm like, why do you keep saying this?
Right. Well, and then the other thing too, is with Demi, we mentioned her being a little insecure, and you could see that a little bit of that with him. When they were like in the bed and she was like, oh, give me a better kiss. Or then when she was like, he's like, oh yeah, we're in paradise. She's like, with me. He's like, yes,
yeah, she constantly throws that out there.
Exactly.
I think that might wear on him at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But and
then, like I said, I was surprised to see Nicole not go. I mean, I was kind of interested to see how those two worked out.
Yeah.
But
because she even said, like, even after the meeting, she's like, look, I'm just ready to get to the real world and see how things go. So I'm surprised, that she didn't at least, try to grease out with him to see how it went. Yeah.
I mean, he had one experience, like maybe, and I get
more
there are a lot of red flags with Sam, but he hasn't really done anything obviously wrong.
Just he's just weird. You just, like I said,
a lot of red flags, but maybe you got to trust him. Maybe you got to trust him.
That's what he says. That's what he says.
Just trust me. We're gonna be great. This is gonna be awesome. Trust me.
I told you to trust me.
Yeah.
I told you to trust me.
It's like,
the more you say that,
it's like, dude, calm the hell down, Sam. Like, holy crap, man. Yeah, that guy just.
He rubbed me wrong. Like.
That guy rubbed everybody wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it took a while for people. It was from the very first conversation he had with the camera. I was like, something's off.
Oh yeah, no, it was pretty easy to catch on pretty early that this dude, he's just a weird guy. And again, you could just see the insecurities and you could see the overcompensation, and it was just like, bro, you're just all messed up. Man, he needs to go to some counseling and kind of get himself together. I think it's really what he needs.
Yeah, I imagine no matter who he's with, that's going to be problematic as well. Just because you got to get yourself straight if you're going to like bring in someone else.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Or it's just going to make things worse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I am looking forward to the next episode.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely.
I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I like this one a lot better than some of the later American seasons we've had. You know, so.
Who's the strongest couple? Is it Steven and...
Probably Steven and Sabrina right now. I would say it's probably the strongest couple. But, I mean, Freddie and Catherine are pretty strong, but,
moving quickly on that one.
We'll see. Yeah. But, I mean, I think right now Steven and Sabrina are probably the strongest couple on here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd be surprised if that doesn't work out, but I could see, like, the kid thing being a problem. And I hope she's not just saying, like, these are options and then... Because those aren't a given option either, Adoption ain't, like, easy, at least here. So, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I'm
rooting for him for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out. Well, there you have it, folks. That is the first 4 episodes down of Love is Blind UK. And it's, like I said, it's been a breath of fresh air compared to some of this later, like the Too Hot to Handle we watched recently and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm glad we're down to something more, good-hearted and where people are actually there trying to find somebody to spend the rest of their life with, you know. But hey, please tell us what you thought. We'd love to talk to you guys. Hit that like and subscribe, and we will check y'all in our next review.
But is their physical connection as strong as their emotional one?